otra cosa. Yo la conocí en Miami, en Brickell.
Welcome to our project on Puerto Rico's independence. Today we will explore the question, should Puerto Rico be its own independent country with its own government or part of the United States of America? Over the next few minutes, we'll look at the history, the arguments for statehood, the reasons why some agree independence as the best path, and the real challenges Puerto Rico faces today. Ultimately, we will explain why our group supports independence as the best option that gives Puerto Ricans full political voice and control over the future.
First, we need to look back into the history of Puerto Rico's political status. After the Spanish-American War in 1898, the U.S. took Puerto Rico under their territory. In 1917, Congress granted statutory U.S. citizenship, which means that Congress can define the rights attached to it. This creates a weird scenario where even when Puerto Ricans hold the status as U.S. citizens, they don't have voting rights as the people living in the states. This gives this sense of false citizenship.
Even though Puerto Ricans heavily contribute to U.S. society, territorial status limits both their political voice and economic independence. One important notice is that Puerto Rico cannot change its own political status without Congress. Under the territorial clause, the U.S. government has full control. This means that even if Puerto Ricans vote for independence or statehood, Congress must approve it. Let's look at the 4 arguments for statehood. Statehood would make Puerto Rico the 51st U.S. state. Puerto Ricans would gain full political representation, including voting seats in the House and Senate, and the right to vote in presidential elections. Puerto Ricans would finally be able to have a voice in the federal laws.
Right now, Puerto Rico doesn't receive funding at the same rate as U.S. states. Under statehood, there would be guaranteed equal treatment for programs like Medicare, Medicaid, education, transportation, and disaster relief.
The current Commonwealth system is expensive, unstable, and limits economic development. Some studies show that statehood could help reduce long-term costs by making funding formulas equal, which can increase local economic activity.
Statehood can give Puerto Rico a clear legal status and end Puerto Rico's limit to many federal rights and powers. In the article, Puerto Rico, the 51st state, the implications of statehood on culture and language. One major concern Puerto Ricans have revolving around statehood is the fear of losing their culture and language. We can see the impacts of statehood from Hawaii and Alaska. As individuals who spoke native languages declined, one major reason for this decline is the implementation of English language in governmental, educational, and public forums.
Sure, statehood can promise better treatment and rights, but at the cost of Puerto Rico's culture and language. Our group supports independence, and here are 5 reasons why. Right now, Puerto Rico is governed by Congress, a body Puerto Ricans cannot vote for. Independence can give Puerto Rico full control over its laws, elections, constitution, and representation.
Puerto Ricans are strongly proud of their heritage background. Martinez, a Puerto Rican politician, commented, "Puerto Rico's heart is not American, it is Puerto Rican." Independence can ensure the preservation of Puerto Rico's culture and language, where Spanish remains as the primary language without external pressure to change its educational or cultural systems.
Independence allows Puerto Rico to do things their way. They are able to create their own tax system as well as being able to negotiate international trade. This means that they can monitor what goes in and out of their country. By not relying on the U.S., they can build their own infrastructure and not have to worry about U.S. regulations. Now, even though this would take a lot of time, it would be better in the long term.
While independence is powerful, there are a few problems that may become a roadblock. Full independence will result in the United States no longer being responsible to keep the economy stable. It doesn't help the fact that Puerto Rico already struggles with high unemployment migration, and debt. Becoming an entirely independent country will make the Puerto Rican government solely responsible for all the issues.
In 2017, Hurricane Maria showed the flaws within the Puerto Rican infrastructure. A study done by Katie McComrack in 2022 showed that many Puerto Ricans residents felt abandoned as a result of the slow response from the government. This raises questions such as, can Puerto Rico manage national emergency independently, and what systems in the current government need to be straightened?
Full independence will result in the United States pulling out many federal benefits such as healthcare, federal aid, and other government programs. These programs and benefits may take a long time for the independent Puerto Rican government to develop. However, these challenges can be overcome. Through international partnerships, exports, and cultural industries, Puerto Rico can create a stable and strong economy with a well-thought-out transition plan.
Ultimately, the best choice would be to have independence. This would allow Puerto Rico to keep its traditions and identity while having control. We believe that this is the best choice for those reasons.